It is May, it is May, it is May. You know what that means.
People are hiring for teaching jobs.
I want you to get ready with me and watch me answer 12 common interview questions that you might have at your next potential teaching job. We're wasting time. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Ali Mack and I am a teacher, and I'm here to help you have the best school year ever. So today is the first video in a 3-part series. I am going to be answering very common questions that you might be asked when you go to interview for a teaching job. Today's video is focusing more on background and personal questions that allow the interviewer to understand your personality and get an idea of what kind of experience you have. The second part of this series, which will be coming out soon, is basically your qualifications. So I'll be answering all the questions to see how qualified I am for that job. And the third part to this series is going to be answering interview questions to figure out what my style is as a teacher. You don't want to miss any of these. I would also like to give a shout out to my so-called teacher life, Kat. She inspired the Get Ready With Me part of this video. As a disclaimer, I'm not a makeup artist.
So if you don't like the way I do makeup, it's been working for me, so back off.
And while you're here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss anything else from me. Now in today's video, while you're getting ready with me, you're gonna listen to me answer questions about my background and personality. Stick around till the very end so you can hear some of my tips that I have when you go for an interview. You don't want to miss that. So we need to go ahead and get into the video. What y'all think? First things first, got to get this hair out of my face. I have found that my mask for going out and about works really well to keep your hair back. Now I'm ready to roll. Now I have talked to you guys in previous videos about my favorite cream. One thing I like about this stuff is you can put it on and let it absorb into your skin, or you can wipe it off with a tissue so it's not so greasy. Now while I'm getting this into my skin, let me talk to you about the first interview question. Okay, the first question is this. What is your educational background? Graduated from the University of Southern Mississippi in 2009, December 2009. I then became a long-term sub in a first grade classroom for the first half for about 6 weeks. Then I started being a substitute for Smith County in Mississippi. Then I got my job teaching trigonometry, pre-calculus, advanced math, and algebra 2 at a private school in Jackson. I then got a job teaching 5th grade math at a magnet school. I was there for a year, and then I moved to Mendenhall, Mississippi, and there I taught 8th grade math. Then I needed a job a little closer to home, so I got a job teaching 4th grade math at this cute little school, Hopewell Elementary. And then after there for 3 years, I decided to move to the coast, and I have been teaching a variety of subjects where I am now. These include 6th grade English, 6th grade science, and 7th grade math. I feel like I'm a little rusty answering these questions. It's been literally like it's been 5 years since I've had to sit down and do this. What I would recommend doing is I would practice answering questions like this over and over again until they become automatic. The next step that I do in my routine is I apply foundation. I like this right here. You see the beauty gurus doing this. And I have the color Classic Ivory. So put this on your hand. This stuff comes out quick. Ooh, see what I mean? Ooh, I think I might have overdid it again. Okay, it's all running down my hand. Question 2, what are you currently reading for enjoyment? You know, asking people what they like to read can tell you a lot about that person. In this particular case, I would probably have to lie because I am not currently reading anything. Which, if you have any good recommendations, leave those comments below. One of my favorite books that I have read, it's actually a children's book. It is called Surviving the Applewhites. And I like it because it is about a delinquent that gets kicked out of all the schools, and his last hope is to go to school at the Applewhites, which is a family of artists, and they're all over the place and crazy. So I really, really like that book, but currently I'm not reading anything else, which I should change that. Question 3, what do you want to be doing in the next 5 years? The next thing that I usually do is concealer. Anyone that has used this e.l.f. camo, and I have it in fair beige. Can you see that? Does that really work? Anyway, it's in fair beige. This stuff goes a long, long way. So what I like to do is go ahead and put it on the tip of my nose, like that. And then I take from the nose onto other spots. So, in the next 5 years, I would like to still be a teacher, and I would like to be teaching the same subject, same grade level that whole time, because I feel like the best teachers that I've ever witnessed have had that opportunity to not move around so much. So I want to become a master at one grade level. I want to be the master of one grade level and one subject. So that's where I'd hope to be in 5 years. And I'm really loyal, so as long as the school is nice to me and I feel like I'm respected, that's where I'll be. The next question is, list 5 adjectives to describe you. Now there are a lot of adjectives to describe me, but what you want to think about here is work-related adjectives, okay? So I would say that I'm a team player, organized, professional, motivated, and hardworking. In the comments below, tell me 5 adjectives to describe you. What I use when I'm doing my brows is this right here. It's a classic, and this color is in a dark brown, and I use this for my brows. Wish me luck. My brows and myself have a love-hate relationship. Next question is, what is one of your weaknesses, and what are you doing to improve it? Now, if this was a real interview, I would probably lie and say that I'm a perfectionist. I don't want to stop till the job is done. But realistically, y'all, my biggest weakness is that I am not assertive enough. And as far as what am I doing to improve it, I am always doing self-talk and saying stuff like, you know what, you're okay. You're not being rude by telling them that you don't want to do that. Like, I'm always just trying to do self-talk. And to be honest, I can be doing better. But now that we're in quarantine, it's really hard to practice being assertive because I'm not really around people. And the people that I'm around, I love them and they love me. And we want to do stuff to help each other. The thing I do when I'm putting my makeup on is I use this powder. You get a whole lot, or not a whole lot, and I get this at Walmart. So, good stuff. My daughter recommended it. Next question. What are your interests or hobbies outside the classroom? Wow, I have a lot of hobbies. I like to write stories. In fact, I've even self-published a couple of books that are on Amazon. I like to create things. Basically, I am a creator. I'm always creating things. So like now, I'm on this hobby of being a YouTuber, and To be honest, the filming is not my favorite. No. It's the editing and putting in crazy special effects and trying to make it better. I like creating things. So basically, if it has to do with being creative, that's where I am. And to be honest, that's why I think I like being a teacher so much. Is because I like having direction. I like someone saying you need to do X, Y, and Z, but you have the creativity to carry it out. And I think that is why being a teacher is a perfect job for me, because it gives you just enough structure and just enough creativity to do what you need to do. So, now, for the most part, whenever I am doing my makeup, the foundation and the base and all that is the same. Where I usually go different is my eyes and my lips. So, to contour, I use this little number by Ulta Beauty. It looks like this. And I use this for contour. I have really fair skin, so this shows up on me nicely. See that? Question 7. What teams, clubs, or extracurricular activities were you involved in while you were in school? To be honest, I wasn't. As soon as I turned 16, I got a job. So my extracurricular activities were working. I worked at the shoe department where I spent most of my paycheck on shoes, obviously. Then I worked at this clothing store called Deb. They have really trendy clothes. One of my favorite tasks was I got to decorate the mannequin. And I kind of had a different style. Back then you might call it gothic. Nowadays you would probably call it emo, although I was never like emo. I just liked wearing black clothes and that style. And so when I would go to school, it was really awesome to see people wearing the combinations I had put together. And I originally wanted to be a fashion designer, even though I'm really not that good at it. It's just a hobby. So no extracurricular activities for me in school. I just went straight to have a job. Next, I move on to my eyes. Now, I don't know how to put on eyeshadow. But there was this cute video that showed a trick that you can use lipstick to put eyeshadow on. And ever since I've been using that and using lipstick for eyeshadow, I feel like I'm getting better at it. First, I have this concealer stick that was on sale, but it doesn't match me. It's too dark. So I use this to start off my eyeshadow. Okay, so the next question is, question 8. What activities would you consider coaching or advising as part of the teaching staff? I would have to say that I am not good at sports. I'm not really good at that kind of thing, but I am currently the sponsor of my school's drama club that I started. And the way ours is different is we create movies instead of plays. Because that way we can yell cut and we can get it looking good so the kid can be proud of it. I love this palette by BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to go with something that matches. I always like this pink right here. And this brush is by BH Cosmetics as well. In Drama Club, we basically make movies. I know the best year that I taught it, the best year that I was a sponsor, we had a movie night. So everybody got dressed up in their red carpet clothes. We had popcorn. We showed the movie. And then the very last scene was live. And it was so much fun. So much fun. I mean, crazy fun. So if I was going to a new school, I would say that if you have anything dealing with drama club or theater, I would like to be a part of that. Now I am going to line my eyes with black eyeliner, and I don't have anything special. I just use this. The next question is, why do you want to teach at this particular level or this particular subject? Realistically, y'all, I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher because I love little kids and they're okay with being silly and crazy with you. And to be honest, I don't really have a level I want to teach. But what I would do is, whatever position I was applying for, I would talk about the strengths and the weaknesses of that grade. So for example, if I was interviewing for a 7th grade math position, I would talk about how math is my strongest subject because at one point it wasn't, and I've had to work hard to really grasp the concepts, and I feel like I could help those that are struggling. You know what I mean? I would jazz it up and I would talk about the things that were positive about that grade and that position. But see, one of my gifts as a person is I am really good at seeing the positive in every situation, for the most part. If I can't find a positive, there's not one, I promise you. So anyway, I would be sincere, but I'm the type that I can see the best in every situation. So I would make the best out of whatever position I had. You know, I found this actually works wonders on lashes too. I bought it for my eyebrows, but when I didn't have what I needed to have, it actually didn't do too bad, you know, especially for what I needed. Alright, now it's time to put on lashes. This is always a fan favorite of everybody's House of Lashes. I prefer it in black, but they didn't have it. I also like Duo. I got this for the black because I hate it when you look at people's eyelashes and they got like white little crusties on their eye. I hate that. Question 10. What strengths do you have that help your teaching career? Usually I would make a joke here and be like, well, where do I start? I am using these Kiss Wispy lashes. I've already taken them out of the box. So basically, my biggest strength is that I am a team player. Also, I do what my boss tells me to do. I am a rule follower. I do what I am supposed to do. And I will not cheat when I do it. I also work hard. I'm creative. I'm also dependable and punctual. So I feel like those are all great things, right? Those are all good strengths. Another thing is I don't give up. Whenever I have a problem that needs to be solved, I will keep going until I fix it, or I will die trying. And that has helped me in my teaching career because I feel like my whole career I've kind of been the underdog. You know what I mean? Like I've always been the underdog. The fact that I don't give up and I work hard and I take feedback well, I think that has helped me. Okay, the next thing I do is I use this by BH Cosmetics. It's a pretty awesome little palette. And I like this color, obviously. So I'm basically gonna go back through and touch up different places that might need them. Okay, next question. What is your favorite subject? What is your favorite subject to teach and why? Okay, my favorite subject to teach, oh wow, I got a lot of them, but really my favorite subject to teach is math because there's so many cute and clever things you can do with math. There's so many activities, centers, just so many different ways, and it's also very easy to find resources for math. And like I've said before, the fact that I have struggled with math as a student myself, I feel like that makes me a better math teacher because I understand where kids are struggling. absolute favorite palette. Ooh, I broke it. That literally just happened. See if I can get this brow to match that brow a little better. If I go too far with this, it will look terrible. So I'm gonna leave this alone. Last question. What is your least favorite subject and how do you approach it to ensure that you teach it well? I actually can answer this really good because I taught 6th grade science for 2 years and science is my least favorite subject. By the way, this is that right there. Look at that glow. Okay, so anyway, it is my least favorite subject. And what I did was I scripted my lesson plans. And if you watched any of my previous videos, you saw I did a whole thing on scripting your lesson plans and having PowerPoints to match those. I will link them somewhere in the top. But basically, I scripted and I researched. I did a lot of choice boards. So the kids had a lot of hands-on type activities. A lot of my tests were essay questions. I would ask them a question based on the standard and I would just be looking for certain things whenever they would answer and I would highlight those. And if they had all the points, I gave them like the highest score, and then if they were missing some, they got a little less. You guys know how to grade. So basically I just super planned for a subject that I didn't like. Because it's not that I don't like science, I'm just not good at it. It takes me a minute to grasp certain concepts. I like connecting my eyeshadow with my blush highlight. I don't know why. Alright, the finishing touch. It's this lipstick. It's my favorite. It's Rosy Risk 211. This is Maybelline. Another thing about teaching a subject you're not very good at, you need to be constantly looking at the data. You look at the data before, but when you're not good at the subject, you need to really be looking at it. Because if most of your students don't understand something, it is time to reteach because you did something wrong, not the kids. Looks like I am almost ready for today. If you made it to the very end, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that will help you go into your interview confident and ready. Tip number 1, research the school you're interviewing for. If their mascot is the Bears, you need to know that. If they have a crazy dress code policy, you probably should know that so you can refer to it in conversation. Do some research on the school before you go to the interview. Tip number 2, it is better to be overdressed than underdressed. This is what I wore to my interview for the current job I'm at. And anyone that knows me knows I don't dress like that at all, not even a little bit. Tip number 3, bring several copies of your resume. Sometimes you will have more than one person interviewing you and you want to be able to pass them out to everybody so they all can look at it at the same time. So they're not sharing one resume. That feels weird. Tip number 4, this is obvious. Arrive early. I always arrive 10 to 15 minutes early and let them know I'm there. And the last tip is always have questions ready because at the end of every interview, they always ask you, do you have any questions? Some good ones that I like to use are, do you have a mentor program? what kind of technology will be available to me.
But don't ask about salary. That's usually public record. You can go on the district's website and find that. But don't ask about salary. Don't do that. That's tacky. That's tacky.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, informative, and entertaining. Please share it with someone you know this will help. Comment below the teacher emoji. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.